What's going on, everybody? Mahai back at it with another video. And today we have a new mass Yeti army, but instead of using quad quake or something like that, we're going to be doing a royal champion charge. And then it works a little bit differently than the other Yeti attacks that I've shown you. So you're going to start off, I like the rocket spear personally on the royal champion, but you could use haste vial too. And then on the warden, I'm using the rage vial. I'm not supposed to have the owl. Let's change that right now while we're here. You can either use diggy or the yak. I think I'm going to use the yak, but the diggy works as well, but it is just nice having the yak to break through walls. And I'm using the poison lizard on the king and then the frosty on the queen. Queen, you could use different stuff on her as well. If you don't have the action figure, you could use, actually I think the magic mirror works better anyway, but you can kind of change that up to your liking. I would definitely run the earthquake boots on the king, but you don't have to have a spiky ball either. So I'm going to go do a friendly challenge against the war base, which is not as good against. It's definitely better against Legend League bases, but I'm going to do that just to show you guys how it works, and then I'll show you against Legend League bases that it's even better. Alright, I changed my mind on doing the live attack because I actually had something come up, so I got to get this recorded quickly and get out of here. But we're going to hop into a first Legend League base here. It is a friendly challenge, obviously, but these are bases that are run in Legend League that have the army camps. They're really good. So I like to send the Royal Champion, if you can, over the Kane to pick up the Kane and just help you move in with your Royal Champion and just get more value. It helps tank, keeps your Royal Champion alive a lot longer. You can get a little bit of value himself as well. Usually he gets targeted by everything, so he usually doesn't survive all that long. We're going to let him walk in and break the walls. Tanks for our Royal Champion, so we can be a little less liberal with our invisibility spells. We can kind of save him a little bit easier. And if you want to invest a few on your Kane, you can definitely do that. And you see there we did, because it took out the monolith, which was really clutch. So we used a couple invises on the Kane, and then we'll use the rest of them on the Royal Champion. We'll get as much value here as we possibly can. She's going to go down, get the Expo, triggers the Poison Tower, which is really nice. She still has her Phoenix as well once we run out of invis spells. So she can get a lot of value. Maybe we can get that Inferno Tower, but that's kind of pushing it, to be honest. We probably won't get the Inferno Tower, but there's a chance. Because she is going to come back to Phoenix, but unfortunately the CC pulls and we're fighting the Queen. So it's probably not going to happen. Come on, get a couple more shots. No, it's not going to happen. We drop some Yetis up there to clean that stuff up. We drop some Yetis over on this right side to funnel, and then everything else in the middle. All the heroes. I like using an early Warden ability with this, but use your Headhunters and then catch the Headhunters in your Eternal Tome. Because you want your Headhunters to survive, obviously, through the initial surge and be able to get to the heroes. Here it didn't matter because the heroes were all the way across the base, so they're not going to make it anyway, but it is what it is. They can at least pull some traps and stuff on their way across the base. We drop our troop launcher, and unfortunately these walls didn't open up as well as I would hope, but you still do have the King's Earthquake Boots. The troop launcher usually does a better job at opening up the walls, but it didn't do a great job here. You see we revive the Royal Champion because she is safe. She's going to move in with this main push now. She's not off on her own. So that's when you want to revive your Royal Champion. When she has something out in front to protect her, or if she can join up with the main group, revive her and bring her back. But you don't want, like I said, you don't want to bring her back if she died in a precarious spot and she's just going to go down right away. You could always use the revive somewhere else if you needed to, like if your queen or something goes down. But as you see, this base is decimated. We still have the enemy yeeter and the disarmer over here, but it's not going to make that big of a difference, I don't think, because we just have so many troops still alive. We still have a bunch of troop launcher troops, and I'm bringing 2 root riders in the troop launcher to break through the backside walls, because that's a big issue with this, is walls at the backside. So that's why we're using the troop launcher, because it throws wall breakers. I have a super wall breaker in there as well, and then 2 root riders just to open as many walls in the base as you can. That way your Yetis can just surge through the base. The Yeti Mites can take out all the defenses. You don't have to worry about them trying to beat through a wall, because they're very slow at breaking through walls. But you see, that base was absolutely crushed. So let's go hop into our second attack. Alright, on to attack number 2. We got the Kane over here on the right side, so that's where we're going to send the Royal Champion. And that's what I like to do. No matter where that Kane's at, that's where I'm sending that Royal Champion. Because you get so much more value picking up that Kane early. As you see, we're going to invest a couple invises on the Kane here, while our Royal Champion is using her Rocket Spear, because we don't really have to protect her at this point anyway. And having a couple less invises for your Royal Champion doesn't hurt, because the Kane can get a lot of value himself. We take out the Inferno Tower. We use one more on the Kane. He's going to end up going down, but he is going to take out that multi-archer tower, which is pretty nice. We pull the Clan Castle, and hopefully we can get this Monolith, but unfortunately, Royal Champion targets the enemy Clan Castle, which is unlucky. We try to make it invisible, but she was frozen. And we do actually make it to the Monolith. We might be able to take it down. Are we going to be able to get it? We should be able to get it with the Phoenix regardless, so that's pretty good. No, she walks back and fights the Electro Titan when it's one shot. Come on, Electro Boots. Okay, our Electro Boots took it out. That was nice. So we took out the whole bottom right side of the base here. We drop a couple Yetis down at the bottom to clean that trash. Bunch of Yetis up here to funnel out that side. And then the rest in the middle here. We're going to pick up that giant to push in on offense with us. Drop our heroes in the middle once the Yetis make the funnel. Make sure you're letting that funnel form first. And I don't know, how does this army camp get skipped? What is that? But it pulls a bunch of our Yetis to the outside because of it. That's really unlucky. And these two heroes down here are pretty low health, so they shouldn't cause us too many problems here. And our Yak is actually going to beat through the wall here, but we do hit our King's Earthquake Boots anyway. We got a nice push here, so we're going to rage up. The Town Hall should go down pretty quickly here. And then we have a ton of Yetis on the left side with our Queen. Because unfortunately that army camp didn't go down, so it pulled a lot of our Yetis to the outside. We didn't have that good of a funnel. We revived the Royal Champion down here while there's a ton of Yeti Mites here to tank for her. She didn't get a ton of massive value, but she did get some nonetheless. Trimmed out a lot of the defenses on the backside. The ground expo is distracted by our Yeti Mites. And it nearly actually goes down. Troop Launcher throws its last troops. That Giant's going to wreck that Ricochet Cannon. We still have some wall breakers from the Troop Launcher at the backside. Obviously they're regular wall breakers, so they don't always actually open the wall, but we have our Root Riders. And look how many troops we have left, just decimating the backside of this base. It was absolutely crushed. We didn't really have to worry about the disarmer. I like to save the disarmer for last, so once you kill her once, you can take the rest of the buildings out before she revives herself. So that's another thing to look out for. But let's go hop into our final attack. Right, into our final attack, we got the Kane up here at the top. So we're going to use our Rocket Spear. We'll be able to snipe out that Inferno. Might get that multi-gear cannon. So there's actually some really nice value up here from our Rocket Spear. Our Kane's going to break through the wall. We're going to use a couple invises on him right away, just to make sure he gets some value. And now we can kind of keep them both invisible at the same time. They grouped up together, which is really nice. That gives you really good value when that happens. It's not always easy to keep them both in the same invis, so don't get too greedy and end up trying to keep them both invis and then losing your Royal Champion. I've had that happen before, so kind of just let the Kane go down here. Takes out the Clan Castle, and the Clan Castle troops honestly might get melted here from our Electro Boots and our aura damage from our Kane. Yeah, we actually took out the entire CC from that, which was really nice. We got deep into the core here. Somehow got the Town Hall, which wasn't even expected. That's definitely a plus when that happens, but I definitely don't go for it. Yeah, we got a huge chunk of the base out here. Really good value. So we dropped 3 Yetis over there to funnel. Then I'm trying to think where I want to go from. Okay, so we drop 5 or 6 Yetis down the flank, and then the rest in the middle. We're going to pick up that Giant with the ones on the flank, which is kind of nice. Heroes in the middle. I used an early Queen ability just to get our healers in from the healer puppet. I prefer to do that. You don't always have to do that. And I just noticed I still had the owl on the warden, which is not even what I wanted. So I showed you guys that at the beginning to make sure you switch that out. I didn't even notice it at the time. Our Giant unfortunately goes down to the monolith. But we're coming in behind both of these fire spitters. They should both go down pretty quickly. We drop a really delayed troop launcher to open the backside walls now. It was probably a little bit late, honestly. I would definitely go a little bit earlier than that. Definitely delay it, but that was a little bit too delayed. I think I might have forgotten about it, honestly, there for a minute. So, hopefully, yeah, that worked out perfectly. Our Root Riders got thrown down here, and they're going to open these walls into that Inferno Tower compartment. We still have our King's Earthquake Boots and Spiky Ball that we're going to save for the backside of the base. The normal wall breakers, actually, from the Troop Launcher, open those walls, which is really clutch. As long as they're not getting targeted by a defense or run into a Giant Bomb or something like that, they do normally open the walls. But, like I said, they're so squishy. If they even get touched, they sometimes die. So we're going to revive our Royal Champion now that the Root Rider's out in front. And this base, again, absolutely crushed. Look how many troops we have left. We use our Earthquake Boots and Spiky Ball just to clean up trash on the backside. It honestly was swagged. We didn't even need it. We honestly didn't even need to bring our Royal Champion back either. We could have swagged that revive spell. This base, again, was absolutely crushed. This is a really, really strong attack on Legend League bases. It's definitely not as good against war bases because you just get so much more value when you pick up that Kane from that army camp. It still will work in war. It's just not as powerful, not as consistent. So I would stick to Legend League with this one. So let me know how it works out for you guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.